Everyone's mowing their lawn today in my neighborhood, so if you hear a drone, it's a lawnmower. Today is Friday, May 3rd. I'm doing a Friday Reads, and I wanted to fill you in on what I've finished reading, what I am reading, and what I will be reading in the near future. And there'll be a bonus segment at the end, What's Making Me Happy. So, hi. I finished Normal People by Sally Rooney. I like this book. I know not everyone likes this book, and that's good. That's fine. It doesn't matter if we all like the same books. But I thought this was a very good book about two people who are suffering from mental health issues, who are hurting, who come together and pull apart and come together and pull apart. And I don't think it's the voice of a generation. I think it's two voices in a generation, in a world, in humanity. So I like Sally Rooney. I will continue to read her. Claire Reads Books did a very good video the other day called What is Millennial Fiction? And she explores a lot of books like Severance, Normal People. I don't remember exactly all the books she talked about. I had read several of them. Convenience Store Woman was one. And, you know, if it's really fair to talk about them in a lump, or to talk about them as applied to only a generation, whereas every generation, people in their 20s are struggling with identity and struggling to figure out where they fit in the world. So she made a lot of great points. There were good comments in the comment section, and I will link that video in case you would like to watch it. It was good. I finished When Will There Be Good News by Kate Atkinson. It was the number 3 in the Jackson Brodie mystery series, and this book was fantastic. I could not stop reading it. You know, it has all of the Jackson Brodie books have Jackson Brodie as the detective, but he's just a side part of a whole array of characters that she usually puts in each book. And in this particular book, there was a really strong 16-year-old narrator named Reggie, and she is essentially an orphan after a series of events and is looking after herself. And she was plucky, smart, funny. She had such a distinct voice. I would love to read another book with this character. I also love Jackson, and I also really enjoy the policewoman, Louise. So, again, I say this every time, I'm not as interested in the mystery as I am in the setup and in the characters, and this did not disappoint me. And I finished 1,000 Acres by Jane Smiley. I have read this book in the past, at least twice before, first when it came out and then another time. Another book that I just really wanted to read and read and read. I liked it. It's for a book club for next month. I'm not sure how they'll take the book, but I think it'll lend to a very good discussion. We all know it's based on King Lear, the tragedy, so not a happy story in particular, but I liked the main character, Ginny, and she didn't pull any punches on her own actions in the story and is, I think, a reliable narrator of what was happening between all the relationships and the dynamics of the farm ownership. So I'm just going to keep going back to Jane Smiley, I think, and seeing what was in the books I've read and haven't read, and enjoy this great American writer. I am so excited to tell you that I did pick up Accordion Crimes by Annie Proulx. 10 books tag where you go and look at, in the script version. There we go. And it was a book that I picked up on Kindle for $1.99 at some point because I love Annie Proulx, but there are many of her books I haven't read yet. And this one is really good if you want to know about music, if you want to learn about immigrants to America in various communities, like the Cajun community. I'm about halfway through, and the writing is so lively and creates characters you have not seen anywhere else, and this predicaments they are in while they all own this particular accordion, and they're all immersed in different musical cultures throughout the United States as immigrants, and the accordion is very important in those musical cultures. So the first person you meet is the man who made the accordion, and he immigrates from Italy, and then you get to see his story and then see who gets the accordion next. There are some real tragedies in there. Annie Proulx is not sentimental in any way. She does not lavish praise or sentimentality or anything on these characters other than just telling us exactly what happens to them in their bodies, in their sex lives, in their violent tendencies, and in their love for music. So I guess I've never heard anyone ever talk about this book before, but I hope I start a tiny mini trend and at least one other person reads it and sees if they like it too. For my book club, I'm also next month reading Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. I've already read this, so this will be a review for me. I remember liking it. I think it will be a good conversation, even though it's a summer book club, and that's a very winter book to me. And I'm also about halfway through Alexander Chee's How to Write an Autobiographical Novel, which is a series of essays about his life and his formation as becoming a writer. He was an AIDS activist and very active in gay culture in San Francisco. He also was a student in exchange student in Mexico, and there's a very good essay about that situation, and I just really like his writing. He's very candid and thoughtful about his life and his place in American history. Next month I get to read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo for another book club. You're going to hear me say the word book club a lot because being in 3 book clubs, they kind of pile up on each other, and I'm trying to keep reading ahead so that then I can read what I want on the side. I will also be reading The Elegance of the Hedgehog, and yeah, those are my obligations as far as I know in the foreseeable future. I will finish up Accordion Crimes and probably pick up the 4th Jackson Brody mystery because the 5th one is coming out in June, which is very exciting. I think it's called Big Sky. Not sure. Don't hold me to that. And then here we come to the subject of what's making me happy. What's making me happy in May is that family visits. My sister's coming to town, and I will see her tomorrow. My mom and grandma and my sister and I are all going to the zoo tomorrow, and then we're going to the Denver Botanic Gardens on Sunday, so it will be fun to see her. And then my daughter is coming home for a week. She just finished up her first year in grad school and is coming home for a week before she goes off to her internship, and so I get to hang out with her and with her boyfriend, and they haven't been home since Christmas, so I'm looking forward to seeing them. And then at the end of May, we're going to Chicago to see my other daughter. So big family visits in May. I am piling up a bunch of tags, and I haven't really had time to be able to get to those right now. I'm thinking in June I will have Tag June and do all my outstanding tags in June. So if you've tagged me, be patient. Thank you for tagging me, and I will get on it soon. Another thing that's making me happy is the sitcom. I don't know if you could call it a sitcom, but it's called What We Do in the Shadows. It's an FX series, half hour a week. It's about 3 kind of lazy and disgruntled vampires who live in Staten Island. They've been charged with taking over humanity, and they are not good at it. They are very inept vampires, and it's so funny. So if you're looking for something that will probably make you laugh literally out loud, LOL, then you should try and stream it or go back and see it if you haven't seen it already, because it's really delightful. And it's one of the few things that I've been very delighted to watch on television lately. Also really looking forward to watching Chernobyl on HBO. I'm interested in that time period. That's the year I got married, 1986. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they dramatize and explain what happened, the timeline in Chernobyl and the after effects. So not fun, but also probably pretty informative and educational. And the last thing that's making me happy, it's spring. Everything is in full bloom. It's gorgeous. Everything is green. It's been raining / snowing. And now I hope, I'm crossing my fingers that we are at the edge of spring into summer and no more winter. Let's hope. And let me know what's going on with you in the comments, and I will check in later this month. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.